To my younger self.
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 To my younger self. What's the story?
To my younger self, what's your story?
Well, hello and good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? It is wonderful, wonderful, just so wonderful to see you. I am very excited today, one, because of our guest storyteller, and second, because the weather is nice. As you can see, it's t-shirt season. So I'm just very excited. Listen, when you come into the room, do me a big favor. Go into the comment section. Say good morning. Say good afternoon, good night. Say something to me, especially in your local dialect. The show is To My Younger Self. My name is Zoe Baraka. I have the singular privilege and honor of being your show moderator, show facilitator, or just the person who sits and hears the stories with you this morning on To My Younger Self. Where are you watching us from? Let us do some greetings from all across Africa, right? This is what we do. We're always saying how Africans are very communal people. We like to greet each other. We like to say hello. We like to ask, did you sleep well? How was your dreams? And things like that. So without further ado, Barakadazwa to you, Sanunkudazwa Yaya de Kakwana Lafia. I really do hope you slept well. I just greeted you in Hausa. I hope you are well. Ya ken tuma futwa wela tipose wanambarka. I just said we thank God in my father tongue. How are you doing? You are welcome. Did you sleep well? Did you wake up well? It is good to see you. Ansuma to you if you speak Wale, and also Dagbani. Ndinao to you. Wezo Leke Efwa. It is good to see you. I am greeting you in the Ewe language from those for those of you who speak Ewe, especially if you're in the Volta region of Ghana. I say hello to you, Etiseng, Akwaba, Ontiden, Yamawaching. It is wonderful to see you. I just greeted you in different variations of the Akan, language. Thank you so much for joining us. Ibella to you, Ibio Kebari. It is wonderful to see you. I just greeted you in Mosi. For those of you who live in the Burkina Faso area, and really, anywhere in the world, as long as you speak Mosi, I am greeting you. Saubonani to you if you speak Zulu. Our South African friends, I'm always saying thank you to you. I truly do appreciate you. You come and you come strong during the week. God bless you for being our friends. Te Oyo Tang, it is good to see you. OJ Ko to you. We pay homage to the keepers of the land of Accra, Ghana. I just greeted you in Ghana. It is wonderful, wonderful to see you. Lale to you if you speak Chadian Arabic. As our very good friend will say, he will say greetings from the bottom of Africa. It is really not the bottom of Africa, but we know what he means. So I greet you. Itwam Afe to you. How are you? It is wonderful to see you. Salam alaikum to you. If you speak Arabic itself, you know what I mean? Ekaro to you, Ekabo to you, to all of our Nigerian friends, especially those of you who speak Yoruba. We're settling it right now. We only chose Yoruba because one of my very good friends, who happens to be one of my best friends, speaks Yoruba. There is no bias there at all. I promise you. Okay, so our Nigerian friends, just, don't judge us. Naga deaf to you if you speak Wolof. Our friends in Senegal, it is wonderful to see you. Jambo, habari gani, habari ya osubwe. Yaore to you. Do you speak Swahili? I just greeted you. It is wonderful to see you. Kotong to you. Amohelan to you. How are you doing? If you speak Sesotho, I am greeting you. I am so glad that you're here. Nyasi to you. Aloy Domilake. Do you speak Bisa? I just greeted you. Listen, I just found out a wonderful history about the Bisa people of Burkina Faso and Ghana and the Kosal and Mamprisi people. Incredible, right? No wonder we're all up there, just being brothers and sisters. Anyway, moving on. Nkotoli to you. If you speak Fofoldi and you are Fulani, we greet you. We greet you. Akeyi to you. We're paying homage to our Ayiti Sheri people. Thank you so much for always joining us. Bom dia to you if you speak Portuguese. Bonjour, buenos dias, bonjour. Of course, in Maraba, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God. Listen, do me a favor. Go, if you're here, I want you to share. Okay, just share, invite your friends. Something wonderful is about to happen. So share, share, share. I know you don't have enemies, but share it with your friends, your really good friends. And if your really good friends has enemies, tell them, please share with your enemies too. I know you don't, but yeah. Let's see who's in the room before we introduce our guest storyteller. Oh, it is wonderful to see you, Doc. Listen, now you can't tell me greetings from sunny Florida, okay? Because it's sunny here too. Auntie Araba, it is wonderful to see you. Good morning, the absolutely delectable, incredible Abaketo Anda. It is wonderful to see you. How are you, my dear? Doris, where are you watching us from this morning? It is good to see you. All righty. Again, share, share, share. Let me go ahead and introduce you to our guest storyteller, because you know me, I can keep talking and talking and talking. Alrighty, I'm very excited about our guest storyteller today. I feel like today's storytelling time is really also just for me. And maybe one day you'll understand why I said that. But I am absolutely taken by her. And I'm going to stop yakking because I can go on and on for an hour just talking about her. And she wouldn't even be on the show yet. All right, our guest storyteller today is Okan Kai. I hope I said that right. Please correct me when you come on, Amankra. Better known as Naa Kai Amankra, or by her maiden name, Naakai. She is the last of 5 children. Her first memories growing up out of Accra, Ghana, which is where she completed her primary education at Christ the King International School. She had her senior secondary school education at Cape Coast, and yes, guess where? At the much acclaimed Wesley Girls High School. Now, I went to Fantaman Girls, so well, we're going to stop there. She then went on to the University of Science and Technology in Kumasi, where she studied pharmacy. She moved to the UK, completed a conversion course, which prepared her to practice as a pharmacist in England. She practiced community pharmacy for 11 years. I understand what that is because I've worked in community pharmacies, and let me tell you, 11 years is a lot, okay? After which she moved to Ghana with her 2 daughters. Naakai started a business of wholesale supply of UK generic medications, set up a training facility for medicine counter assistants, then set up a retail outlet in the Kolebu area in 2013. Under her able leadership, the company Alpha Delta Pharmacy has since opened 2 more branches, one in Labani and the other on Ring Road Central, all in Accra, the capital of Ghana. Listen, I personally am absolutely enamored by Naakai and her spirit of humility. I am inspired by her unassuming yet powerful and can't-do attitude. And now I'm extremely privileged to call her friend and to introduce her to you. Listen, like we do in Grand to my younger self fashion, do me a big favor. Just go into the comment section, say welcome to her, say something nice to her as I bring her on. Please help me welcome the absolutely beautiful African pharmaceutical giant of our time, Naakai Amankra. Do me a favor. Let's just clap, clap, clap as she's coming on, okay? Hello, 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 hello. Oh, goodness, it is wonderful to see you.
Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you too.
Lovely to see you. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Very well done, Zoe, for managing to drag me out here because I'm very camera shy.
Oh, you know what? I do believe that there's some I'm standing on the shoulders of some giants. You know what I mean? There is the incredible Abaketo under the incredible Auntie Araba and a few other people on whose shoulders I am standing. It was definitely, you had to come up for these guys. You're welcome to the show.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very, very much. Like I said, I'm very camera shy. I might be talkative off camera, but on camera I just coil up. But I'll do my best today. I'll do my very best.
Listen,
Yeah,
how about
yeah,
we
yeah.
do this? Pretend you and I are sitting on a couch. There's nobody
Yes.
watching us, and we're just having a
Yes.
conversation, and you're telling
We'll
me
have a
some
good time.
stories. Exactly. So,
We'll
listen,
have a
my
good
job
time.
is done 10 minutes in, and my job is done, and you're here,
Yes.
you're driving the show. There's a lot of people over here saying hello to you.
Okay.
Salahuddin, I know he's from Chad. He joins us he's very, very on point with us. And he says,
Excellent.
oh, hello there. And he says, as usual, from the bottom of Africa, Chad. Dory says, marching from motherland, Ghana.
Okay.
Audrey is a professor. She's, just clapping. Yvonne Atafin says, welcome,
Wow.
Naakai. You're
Hi,
drawing up
Yvonne.
all of them.
Hi, Yvonne.
All righty.
Okay.
Over to
All
you,
right.
my dear. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Zoe, for the invitation. I took the name of your program very literally, to my younger self. And I thought I'd use this program to admonish my younger self and people that might have the same challenges or difficulties as I had growing up. As you rightfully said, I was born to a fairly large family, last of 5 children, and mischievous last born. You know what we are like.
I know.
We get away with so much. Last born gets away with so much.
Oh,
And we are
God.
so pampered and spoiled, and other people take the flag for us and all that. And so I was born as a last child. Yes. And I think that because we have so many people protecting us, our siblings, our parents are not as strict on us as they are on the first children.
Yeah.
So it gives us a lot of confidence. I think the last tail end, we have a lot of confidence, and we don't know how protected we are until we grow up and we realize that,
You realize
there's a lot of
adulting is
things
hard.
involved. And when I was struggling to put this together last night and all that, I said, why am I having such a hard time putting stories together? Because I was quite a storyteller in my childhood at the expense of others. My sister rather said, don't forget to tell them how much beatings I got on your behalf, which is so true. We would start a story, a make-up story, and I'll take the story literally. And now when it's time to end the story and talk our real life, I'll be like, oh, no, my story still holds. Oh, I got people into trouble, but rather forgive me for that. Forgive me for that. Yeah. And so I had a few images. I don't know if you have any of them.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Of my younger self. I think the second picture, which is taken at age 8. I don't know if you have that 3 friends in the Christ the King uniform.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the first one. Okay, this one was like age 6 or so. That's my younger self. That's my younger self who had gotten away with a lot. Yes, that's the first one.
You know the funny. You don't look any different. You look so beautiful.
Really? Thank you.
Now, incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
I see. I'm glad you recognized me there.
Yes, I did.
Wow. I think it's age 6 or 7 or so.
Wow.
And then do you have the ones of 3 friends, one holding a cake? In the Christ the King uniform? Do you have that one?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come up later. That was an interesting one because it was taken on the 23rd of May, which is today.
Wow.
My friend's birthday, 47 years ago. Yes, 47 years ago. So that was quite an interesting photo of good old friends. Yeah, this is later on. That's another close friend. Yeah. So we grew up in a very vibrant household. Lots of friends, lots of family in and out, lots of music playing. My sibling just before me, KK, was a musician. And so we grew up to a lot of music. My father loved music. My mom loved music. She used to sing and we used to dance and she used to tell us stories. There was really lots of warm memories. And I think that has helped me in my social skills now. And friendships, I'll tell you, friendships mean so much to me, especially all friendships mean a lot to me, but my older friendships are particularly very, 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 very dear to me. And I have to say that those relationships have been a pivot in my development and my growth, as encouraging each other, getting together, no matter from which ends of the earth, we get together on special occasions. On my 50th birthday, a lot of people flew.
Wait, hold up. You're 50?
Yes, yes,
How?
yes.
No. You're 50?
Yeah. Oh, I'm 50 plus. I'm
Oh
a few
my
years older than 50.
God. Oh my
Yes,
God.
and so those friendships, I think Abba is one of my childhood friends. We're in primary school together. So those friendships
She's
have
another one
really,
who does not look 50.
yes, I know that much I know.
Whatever
Yeah,
water
yes.
you're drinking, I want it.
So my childhood, the warmth of the childhood memories, the togetherness, the village lifestyle, let me call it that, yes, because that's how we've grown up. That's how we've grown up, and that's how it's been for my children and those around me. It's a village lifestyle. We are together. We're always together, and whatever experiences we go through. I can see Bridget is just
Hi,
tuned in as
Bridget.
well.
Yes, she just
Yes,
joined us.
Bridget's a friend from secondary school. Yeah. So yeah, early childhood was brilliant. Got into Christ the King. Then my first setbacks that I can remember was difficulty with reading. I found it difficult to deal
Wow.
with text, and that gave me great anxiety. This obviously I went through primary school. It wasn't an active fear or an active anxiety, but it was always there at the back of my mind that if you present me text, even before I start to read, I'm intimidated by the text. It's a lot of writing. So it was with me through primary school, through secondary school, and in Wesley Girls High School, but I didn't know what it was. I just knew that text gave me anxiety. I would read, but I would read, it was easier for me to process text that was presented in columns rather than text that was horizontal and lengthy. I'd be initially intimidated by that. I learned much later on in life, in my 30s, that it was some degree of dyslexia.
Yes, I was about to comment on that.
Yes. So many years later, I realized it was something called dyslexia. I'd see even children take a book. My second daughter will just take a book and read rattle. I'm like, hey, how she's able to just rattle so easily at this tender age? So I realized it was dyslexia. And like I say, it's after school that I realized that I had this difficulty. And to balance that difficulty, I focused more on the science subjects, the chemistries, the math. I was very good at math. You see, it was just easier for me to process figures and imagine the figures and multiply and add than it was for me to process things like literature. I enjoyed biology, and don't ask me how. I just enjoy maybe the diagrams and pictures help
Oh
me
my
do so much
God.
of biology. Yes. And so my first anxieties and insecurities started with dyslexia, and it's such a shame that at our age, in our time, there was no one to help you through those
You even
difficulties. But
recognize that was it. They just thought, they would say, "Utiyu, na uni madeka,"
you know, I mean,
and
luckily I
just
wasn't
throw all
comfortable to
things
read.
at you.
Yes. So
Wow.
that is what it was. That is what it was.
Wow.
And so anyway, we plowed through, but I always had the fear of it. I also knew that I had to work twice as hard as my friends to get the same grades as them. Right from kindergarten, I had an admiration of excellence and intelligence. I mean, it used to amaze me how people do their work and get all of them correct. And you know, I just had a great admiration for excellence. And so when we had that Christ the King picture, you'd see one of my friends, Jackie Constantine. She was my first friend. She was always top of the class. I used to think, what is in this girl's head? So I always had that admiration. So most of my friends around me were people of excellence, right from primary school up to university. And I used to emulate them, study with them, be with them, hang around them. And it encouraged me to study really hard. And I had put a little poster on there. I don't know if you have it there, which says,
Could it be this one here?
Yeah, that's one. Only God knows how it all turns out. And for those who belong to him, it turns out well. There were some discouraging times, yes.
You're preaching right now. Oh, Lord. We're going to keep this one up for a little. Yes, just so that people can do screenshots and stuff like that.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'd say that's definitely to my teenage self, where this is the Joubert testament that I had to work so hard. I mean, I didn't know I had a problem reading, but I just knew that I had to work twice. I said, so why are you always with your books? You're always with your books. You're always with your books. I said, because I have to get my grades and I have to work harder. I realized I had to work harder than everyone else. And so, yeah, only God knows how it all turns out. And for those who belong to him, it turns out well. I think my teenage self should learn that lesson and learn that lesson well and dwell on this.
Wow.
Yes, dwell on this. There were people in school who knew what they wanted to be when they grew up. I had been fed the information that I was going to be a doctor. Oh, my father was a doctor, and he was so hell-bent on me following in his footpaths. And so, I went into the science subjects, navigated into the science subjects and all that up to my A level. And I did fairly well. But after A level, I decided that, nah, medicine is not for me. It's not for me. Again, I think that was the fear of text raising its ugly head.
Yes.
I did not want to study medicine. I didn't want to study so hard. And I didn't want to spend 7, 8 years in school studying when I have to work so hard to get the average C. Now I'm going to do medicine. It would be too hard.
Yes.
My mom was brokenhearted. She was so brokenhearted. She did everything to convince me to get into medical school. Fortunately and unfortunately, I got into medical school in UST, but I really had no interest. And so I also got a place in School of Pharmacy. So I had 2 places. And I was quite sure I wasn't going to do medicine, but my name was on both places, both pharmacy and medicine. Yes. So the first day of school, the first day of school, I was working with a friend, Aseye, who had always wanted to be a doctor. From as far back as I can remember, Aseye wanted to be a doctor. I said, Aseye, take my place in medical school. So I'm not going to do it. And she didn't take me seriously. So we're walking to the pharmacy faculty. On the right-hand side was School of Medical Science. I'm like, Aseye, I'm not going to go. Take my place, go. She didn't listen to me. She walked up to pharmacy. So we're both in the pharmacy classroom. I said, Aseye, believe me, I'm really not going to go. So anyway, we swapped places and cut story short. She's now a doctor and now I'm a pharmacist.
Oh, she did go to medical school after all.
Oh, she did. She did. And she's a fabulous ophthalmologist now. Yes. Yeah, so fast forward through the UST years. I had the opportunity to go to England. It was actually initially started as a holiday, but I decided to stay on because some visa openings had come. We had something we call the 2-year working visa. So I decided to take the opportunity to see what pharmacy in the UK had to offer. So I worked. You have to do a conversion exam in England to work as a pharmacist there. So I worked in many community setups. Yeah. Another reason why I knew I didn't want to be a doctor is I don't like staying at the same place for too long. I can't work in one hospital for too long.
Welcome to my world.
Office, yes.
You got to
I'm a
move.
bit of a wanderer. Yeah. And I think that's a dyslexic trait. This thing of we get restless, our attention span is very. So I couldn't have done this. No way. Yeah. So I had the opportunity to practice community pharmacy. And community pharmacy is very vibrant. You're on a shop floor, you're talking to staff, you're talking to clients. I loved the feel of community, always on the go. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I made so many friends from clients. Wow. And again, I moved around from place to place in West London. I really enjoyed what I did. And I did it for 11 beautiful years.
I mean,
so
I'm admiring
my domain.
I'm admiring you, Naakai, because I've had the opportunity to work in community pharmacy. And I think maybe also culturally must be a little different because over here, it's not always so great. I mean, you still get to talk to a variety of people, but it's always the customer is right. And, it's a little, but because I'm not a pharmacist, I just really don't enjoy it as much as you. So that's
Yeah.
Wow.
But again, when I started community pharmacy, you didn't have many people of our color as community pharmacists. And so I knew I had to go the extra mile for the communities to accept me. I had to get to know my clients and get to know them well. And so I'd spend as much time as I could in the dispensary, but I spent a lot of time on the shop floor engaging them, getting to know them, getting to know their families, and that's social. Wow. It worked out well for me. Yeah. And so I had the 2 children, 11 years or so, 11 plus years. Yeah, and we had an opportunity to come home. That's why I think a lot of people are interested in the story. The move from the UK, having stayed in UK for a while. In all, I had been in UK for 15 years, to be honest. If I was going to cut and paste everything, it was 15 years. And so, since it was just after university, it's like, I'd never really lived an adult life in Ghana per se. And so that was quite daunting. But yes, my older daughter had a place in high school and I was determined to come home and just come and continue life there. However, the decision was made quite suddenly. We made a very, very quick decision and we decided, look, this is what is good for the family. And so let's head back home. Did I have a business plan? No. Did I know exactly what I was going to do? No.
You just decided going home.
And yes, we are going home. It's time. It's time. I mean, 15 years is enough. It's time to go home. And the kids had come on little holidays and they had enjoyed themselves. And so I knew it would work out well for them. But how I was going to feed these kids and how I was going to get along with my life was a mystery. I just remained not just optimistic, but I just had a quiet peace about it all. I sort of knew we would be okay, we'd figure it out, sort of thing. And so basically we are landing. Did I have accommodation? No. Did I have a car? No. I had nothing.
You had no
suitcases, literally just suitcases. Oh, did you lose? I lost you for a bit there. So yeah, there was the move to come home. The kids came a few months ahead of me. I brought them, and then I left them with my sister. This same sister who's really suffered under my naughty childhood. And she looked after them for a few months while I wrapped things up in the UK. And my story is not a story of greatness, but a story of...
Oh no.
Are you with me, Zoe?
Yes, I am. I was just about to say no.
Did it go off?
Yes, a little bit, but I think we can hear you now. Excuse me, I just sneezed really badly, but I'm a human being, so here goes the Ghana internet just when it's about to get good. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can hear me. There we go.
I can hear you now.
Alrighty, there we go. Yes, we're good now.
Are we good?
We're good now. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying that mine is not a story of greatness, but it's a story of God's love and mercy and God's faithfulness. But the mercy means a lot to me. I was sharing with a friend recently about how I used to grovel. I used to pray quite a lot. And when I say pray, I'm not talking about 3-hour prayers or 4-hour prayers or 1-hour prayers, but in my deep groanings, in my moanings, in my bed, I just used to commit everything into God's hands and say, God, I know you've got this, and so we are going to be okay. So there's a lot of prayer that went into our move. There was a lot of trusting God that went into our move. I mean, the Bible says, and we all know it so well, that he says, I'll never leave you or forsake you. And I haven't come across a part of the Bible yet that is not true. God's word, I personally know to be true. So when he said, I'll never leave you or forsake you, I took it literally and I did believe it. So I knew that coming home, even though there might be hiccups, we'll be fine. We will somehow be fine. Things will work out. Like I'm saying, I had no clear agenda about what I was going to do. I knew obviously to be around pharmacy. My preference was to be self-employed, and so would start from somewhere. I'd use my skills I'd honed in the UK, replicate them, and see what I can do in the Ghanaian context. So we came, and when I was getting ready to come home, so as I said, the kids came ahead of me. I came a few months later. 2 days before my departure, I was. Are we together?
I think we are now. Yes. Yeah. So we were.
Yeah. Okay.
For your
so. Yes, I just had a prompting to contact some suppliers of what we call UK generics. With medications, you have branded medications like Tylenol, Panadol, and you also have the generic versions of them, which is good old paracetamol, exactly. So literally about 2 days before I came, I had a prompting. When I say a prompting, it wasn't by conversation, but it just laid on me to contact a few suppliers of generic medications. Because on one of my holidays here, I saw what my relatives were paying for medicines. And they were exorbitant. At the time, the pound to CD rates, this was 2007 thereabouts, the pound to CD rate was 1 to 1. And my relatives were spending 300 CDs a month on medication. That's a lot. In the UK, we had a very vibrant Yes, it was a lot. And these are pensioners. And in the UK, we had a vibrant health system. And so medications for over 60 were free, under 16 free, pregnant women free, diabetic patients free. And so it was very strange for me to come and see relatives spending so much on medications when we had cheaper alternatives, which were just as potent and just as reliable, which we used on the NHS. And so by God's grace, I managed to make a few contacts with wholesalers in Ghana and other institutions, suppliers in the UK, partnered with a few people. And when I got home, started to supply those, much to the delight of many prescribers, because the prescribers will tell you, the prescribers will tell you what they are prescribing and how patients are not compliant. They can't afford the medication, so they take the medication, some that should be taken on a daily basis, maybe on alternate days and all that. And so that's how I started. It was with the supply of generic medicines, and that went fairly well. I then had the opportunity, this when I moved to Ghana now, I had the opportunity to open a training facility to train counter assistants. In the US, I think you call them farm techs.
Yes, pharmacy technicians.
Yes. But these, in Ghana, we have counter assistants, we have technicians, and we have pharmacists.
Oh, wow.
But the counter assistants course is a very short course. It's just a 3-month course, 3 months in the classroom, and then 3 months internship training in a community pharmacy practice.
Wow.
So I had that opportunity to open a training facility for counter assistants. And that worked so well the first 3 years. And so we're doing the supply and I was training the staff. It went really well for about 3 years.
Let me, I'm so enamored by this story. I'm going to backtrack you a bit. When you started, did you start supplying in a shop? Did you have a shop that you were supplying to, or you would go to doctors and get medication? How was it?
Yes. I had my wholesale space in Kolibu, which is where my first community pharmacy started. And so opposite the Kolibu hospital, we have a family building, and we started to supply from there, from that building opposite Kolibu. And it was mainly to small clinics. I didn't do big hospitals, just a few big hospitals, but it was mainly to small clinics, which is where their prescribing habits changed. It was easier to convince doctors in small clinics to sort of try and change their prescribing habits, do a bit more generics, because they're just as efficacious. And so that's where I started from. And so then the school, the MCA school, we did so well. We did very, very well for about the first 3 years. But the Pharmacy Council decided they wanted to tweak the training program a little bit. And so very sadly, there were 19 schools in Ghana, and we all had to close shop. We had to stop it was devastating. I had just come, I was 3 years in, doing quite well. Everyone was happy. And they were like, no, this course is going to stop. And so what's the next plan? Wholesale I was doing on a small scale because collecting payments, I didn't know when I was coming that collecting payments in Ghana here is actually very, very, very difficult. So those were the hiccups. I'd happily supply, and then collecting payments had become a challenge. So there had to be something vibrant, something else to do. So I used to call friends and say, what's there to do? What's there to do? The training facility is going to be closed down. What do I do? And one thing I had said I would never do when I got home was go into retail community pharmacy.
Oh my God.
Why is that? Because my friends who had retail practices had staff issues where they had pilfering on a large scale. Friends had to close shop, close down. And so the horror stories of community pharmacy were just, so I had decided that no, there's no way I was going to do retail. But when I was having discussions with friends, they were like, you have no choice. You are the best place, which is Kolibu. And so pilfering or no pilfering looks like the next stage is to start into retail. So I very, very reluctantly opened my first retail shop. It was so small. My retail pharmacy was the tiniest retail pharmacy in Naa Kai. It was previously Vita Pharma, and I bought the business, and that's what we opened. My opening stock.
Let me see if I have the Kolibu pharmacy. Oh, guys, Is this is
Yeah.
the Kalibu pharmacy?
Yes,
Oh
that's what
my
it is now.
God.
Yeah. So when we started, we were just, you
Can
see
I
the image
just
on,
congratulate you because I see it says 24 hours. Do you know
yes, it's day
how
and
that
night.
makes me happy? That
It's day and night.
it means there is someone there every single
Oh,
time.
24/7. The lights don't go on. My electricians came
Oh
to see
my
it last week and
God.
they're like, Auntie Naakai, you've got to turn these lights off sometimes. I'm like, the lights don't go off.
It
They're
can't
on.
go off.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you have
24
like all
hours
these parental, now we're getting technical, right? Sorry guys. Have all these parental medications,
injections. Yeah.
insulin, stuff that have to be in the fridge. There's nothing you can do.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we opened, it wasn't like this when we started. It was just a right side, just a smaller side. You see, there's two doors.
Yes.
So
So
the
it was
door on the
that
right,
side
that
on
was
that
all we had.
side.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's all we had.
God. So this
And
is the expanded version.
yes, this is the
Oh,
expanded. That was Wisewade. For those who know the Kolibu area, that used to be the bigger door used to be Wisewade Dry Cleaner. And
uh-huh.
we later on expanded to take that space as well.
You bought them
Yeah.
out?
What did you say?
You bought them
Yes,
out?
I did.
Oh, come on. This
Yeah.
story is making me too happy.
So that's the way it went. But I have to say that doctors in Kolibu were so supportive of me. They still are. They were just so happy to see this clueless English pharmacist come and start up in the area. They were amazing.
Oh my
And yeah,
God.
we did very well. And when we opened, yeah. So the focus even moved from the school into retail. The school, I have to say thank you to Pharmacy Council because the school was later reopened. They allowed us to reopen our schools and we are thriving, if I should say so. We are thriving, yeah. So we got into community pharmacy and we got into community pharmacy in Kolibu. It wasn't without its challenges, as you know. It wasn't without its challenges. We then opened the branch in Labone, which you've also mentioned. I don't know if you have a picture of the Labone branch.
Yes, I mean, I really want to hear the stories of how you got there to, like Labone Pharmacy. And guys, you guys are just going to be so excited about what's about to happen. I'm too enamored. Look at that. So this now is the second one.
That's the second one. Yes, that's the second
smile
one.
knows no bounds.
When I opened the Kolibu shop, back to Kolibu, when I opened the Kolibu shop, I had zero confidence. I was like, oh, but Kolibu has a few pharmacies down at the entrance, and so I don't know if people will be able to walk
there
to
was
mine.
a pharmacy. There was a pharmacy there.
At the entrance of Kolibu, a few meters down, about 400 meters from me, there's a pharmacy. So I was so worried. I really did not believe we would do well. And so I brought my initial stock. I used to open the pharmacy was even less than my my domestic monthly shopping. It was so small. And a friend saw it and was like, "Oh, what's this? You're going to open a business with?" I mean, I can
No, go back. Can you tell me what the inventory was? I'm so curious. What did you?
Oh, the inventory, you don't want to know, please. You don't want to know. It was so pathetic. A few carrier bags, a bit of this, a bit of that. Obviously, some of the stock from my wholesale facility, that was easy. My UK generics, I was fully stocked. But the other branded products and the toiletries, it was so pitiful. It was so pitiful. I think by the next day, half of it was done. And the beauty of the Kolibu shop is that when we're stocking, I stocked with my sister and one of my daughters. We're stocking the shelves. The doctors would come and knock. Are you open? I hear you open a pharmacy. Are you open? I'm like, oh, we're setting up our computer system. We haven't finished. Oh, they pushed the door down and said, we are buying. So before we could even stock the shop, yeah. And that's more than you can carry. Like I'm saying, mine is not a story of greatness, but just God's mercy, God's love, and His grace.
I want to be the one to voice this, that Naakai came to Ghana or went to Ghana with 5 suitcases and nothing. You didn't understand what that means. And no place to live, no business plan, no car. Do you understand how much faith it takes to just say, I'm just carrying my suitcases? All the people have it. Like, how did you stay in the UK for 15 years and then come home with suitcases? Hey, I cannot even imagine the things people said. Oh my God.
Some of the bulky things we came with were roller blades, which even got stolen later on. I mean, we just landed. We just landed. Yeah. We were very well received in Kolibu. And Kolibu wasn't too difficult starting. Laboni was the difficult one. Laboni was the
Let's pull up
difficult one.
that Laboni one again.
Laboni was a
The story.
difficult one. That was a tough one. I bought that business from a very dear friend, Mr. Benasco. Yeah, and it took a while to get it open. And I prayed so hard and fasted so hard for a good 11 months for that branch.
Hey,
We worked so hard, really tirelessly to get that branch open. We opened on New Year's Day 6 years ago. I can't remember what the year was, but we opened on New Year's Day. And then 6 weeks down the line, a big pharmacy opened down the road. I was like, oh no. I mean, I was so gutted because it's not a major road, it's just a side road in Laboni. I was like, goodness, I mean, how are we going to survive this? It was really tough and it was very discouraging. It was a very, very, very discouraging time. I just did not want to be in the same space as a whole cluster of pharmacies because there was one even further down the road. And again, friends used to encourage, and I used to be encouraged with God that it will be okay, things will be okay, it will be okay, sort of thing. But I was on the verge of, if I had made offers, people had come to view the place. Some of my best friends in the
we have a
industry
question
now.
for you as you're gonna, so that you can answer. But wow, Uncle Fisher, welcome back to my younger self. We've missed you. But Uncle Fisher says, was Laboni difficult because of the location?
Okay, Laboni was difficult because of three things. There were lots of people competing for that space. There were lots of pharmaceutical giants at that time. This was a small, insignificant ant in the industry, and there were lots of other big established pharmacies competing for that space you see there. So that was the first fight, fending them off and trying to get the space. Then it was difficult because when we are looking for locations, obviously you map out the competition you have around.
Yes.
And at the time we had this 400-meter rule where you couldn't open another pharmacy within 400 meters of an existing one.
Wow.
And so that gives us some comfort and some small monopoly in your area, sort of thing. But like I'm saying, 6 weeks is just freshly opened,
fresh,
and a well-known pharmacy was opened literally 5 minutes walk from me, and so that was extremely discouraging. Yeah, it was extremely discouraging. And I have to say that Laboni grew because we have our unique selling points, our unique secrets. And a lot of people will tell you we do get quite busy. There were times when this little Laboni pharmacy you see was outshining our
Come on, I want to get up and jump. Yes. Jumping for me, please. I just need to jump.
There were times that Laboni even would exceed Kolibu. There were times that the road was chock-a-block and I wasn't at work and I'm trying to, and because of Kolibu, Laboni traffic, I couldn't pass. And like I'm saying, it's really God's grace and mercy. There's nothing more I can say to it. It's just God's grace and mercy. We did very well. People would come from far and wide just to come to us. Yeah. So Laboni Pharmacy is not a 24-hour pharmacy, but we stay open till late, till about 10 o'clock. We're open from 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock. And we are doing our best in brightening our little corner.
No, let me read this comment from Sybil. Yes. Sybil, thank you so much for joining us today. And Sybil says, the decision to go back home can be hindered by thinking you have nothing to go back with. Thanks for reminding us that our decisions shouldn't be based on what we do or do not have. Indeed, it's not even just a decision to go back home. Even if you're just moving down the street, the decision to move, the decision to just have motion should not be determined by what you have. I love what Naakai said, that your story is not a story of greatness. I beg to differ. It really is a story of greatness. It's a story of God's greatness, of what God will do in a person's life if we trust him enough. The person that put the angry reaction there, why? I just had to say that. Why? Why are you angry this morning? That's not but it's so encouraging to hear you and to just know that you've impacted, because Sybil is saying it. It means a lot of people are thinking it. I just wanted to kind of throw some light on that, Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the Laboni was a struggle. It took a year and a bit to really kick off and start to do well and start to really bloom and thrive. And again, for those hoping to come home, the difficulties are there. The Laboni has electricity issues. The lights will go off, lights will come on. We have an inverter. Sometimes it's off for so long. But remember that a lot of us who want to come back home have lived here before. And we've lived through those challenges and survived those challenges.
Like, what did not happen before? Is it light that you are
happened before? And we're resilient. And those things have made us a very resilient lot. We are tough, we are resilient. And where there's a will, there's a way. We go through it, we do well. And so if you hear stories of the economy or stories of our taxes and our VAT going, I don't think we should be discouraged. Try to rise above it. Try very, very hard. A friend had shared with me, which always stays with me, that it's there, it's in the gospel, that God blesses in the wilderness. When I was coming, he said, God blesses in the wilderness. God blesses in the wilderness. Yes.
It needs a break.
Yeah. And we hear Paul say, wherefore am I going to boast about my infirmities? Because where I'm weak, he's strong. And these are the verses I used to say to God all the time when I'm low and I feel so lost and abandoned, just reminding myself of the verses and holding God to his own word that, Chale, you've got to pull through for us. And we hear stories of corruption. But what I'm trying to say is that we go through all those things. We go through all those things. And if this is the land you feel you are called to be in, that's Ghana or Nigeria or Chad or wherever it is you call back home that your heart desires to be, just comfort yourself by saying whatever hardships they have there, a lot of us have gone through it before. And even if you haven't gone through it before, greater is he that is in you, that he that is in the world. And so we used all these comforting scriptures to go through.
And one of our biggest supporters, Naakai, and Nanareda, my big brother, he says, this is a great story. I needed to watch this today. I didn't know this backstory at all, apart from thinking Naakai, Abba, and I know he's referring to Abba Keita and my dear friend, and run triplets.
Yes, and
oh my God.
And so at this stage, what do we have? We have a training facility which was running on it was a small scale when we were asked to come back and open the training facility. Was running. The distribution was running on a small scale, still small clinics, mainly small clinics, not so many pharmacies and not big hospitals, but small clinics. We had Kolibu doing its own thing, and then Laboni also in full action. Yeah, and so I was pretty content. Life was okay, managing staff was okay. And then there was this building. It's on the Ring Road Central, heading to Circle. Those of you who know Accra, it's in an area we call Paloma. And there was this big building which had been constructed many years ago, but the development hadn't finished. And as the years were going on, they completed the building. It looked like a nice building. So when I'm driving to work, I used to admire the building. And then one fine day, I was like, well, it would be nice to have a building, a pharmacy in the corner of this
Come
building.
on, it was rising inside you.
It was rising as I go, come on, please. I mean, all the challenges you have running the two business, why would you want to do more? I'm not that sort of person. I'm very low-key. I'm content. Oh, my goodness. But this desire was rising and rising and rising. I'll scout around for the clinics around the area, look for the little communities. I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do this thing. Eventually, I got that a small corner of this building I'm describing to you, and I opened my third pharmacy, which is now a flagship store, which is now Alpha Delta Ring Road Central.
Oh my God, guys, let me pull this up because it is such an exciting
flagship store.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's a flagship store.
Can you see this?
These are a few of our staff. Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at God.
That's also a 24-hour pharmacy.
I was doing the calculations, Naakai, and I said 2013-ish till now.
Yeah.
Look at the overtaking. That's oh my God.
Yeah. So Yeah, all our staff are people who would have passed through MCA. It's amazing how God works. All our staff are people who would have passed through our training facility, qualified, and then come to join us as staff.
I
We also
can't.
post
Oh my
staff
God.
to other pharmacies.
And Naakai,
Yes,
we have a
yes,
few
yes,
surprises
yes.
for you of
Oh,
someone,
do you?
a very important personality in my personal life, and
Oh, I
you know, who
see.
was in your pharmacy, you know, and so we're going to show you
Oh,
a little bit of inside of the flagship pharmacy. So hold on, guys.
oh, I
Here,
see. Thank you.
here is,
Very naughty.
I know, here is Grandpa Kato under the ambassador himself inside the pharmacy. Oh my God.
That's a fun.
Paparazzi will chrome. I was just so
I'm
sad.
telling you.
There is more.
Wow.
There is more. There is
Yes,
more.
that's,
There is
that's
more.
Alpha Delta
This
Redwood Central.
oh,
Wow. Hey, Abba.
did you guys
Oh,
see this?
that's very nice. Yeah, that's
There is
us.
prescriptions and
That's us.
advice. There is
That's us
counseling.
too.
Indeed, I don't see a lot of this.
Yeah.
Community pharmacies is not this very
Yes,
finely
yes, yes.
duplicated, I have to admit. Okay, it's one space and you get your counseling right there. So I'm just saying, okay.
Yeah,
There is
yeah,
more
yeah,
surprise
yeah.
pictures
Hey,
that I'm going to pull
paparazzi.
up. Oh, paparazzi will grow.
Hey.
Paparazzi will grow, but this is Ambassador and we got permission to
Yeah.
share it because, of course, he was just so proud. He still is, of course, very, very
Thank you
proud.
so much. Thank
No,
you. He loves
here,
that branch.
yes, I
Loves
know
that
he
branch.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
And here
Oh,
is
well done.
your
Well
Twinnie,
done. Well done.
and Grandpa right there. This is really a flagship pharmacy. Hi, if you're entering, crowd,
Abba, you're very
you just
naughty.
feel
Very
so
naughty.
good.
Very naughty. Yes, thank
And
you. Thank you. Abba,
last,
Usuban.
just to
Yeah.
reiterate what Nana Redamwa, Big Brother, said about you and Rada and Abba being triplets. Here is one of you and Abba right there in front of Alpha Delta Pharmacy.
Oh, thank you. That's a nice surprise. That is really nice.
And so we want to
That's
say
naughty.
a very big thank you to Grandpa Ambassador
It's
Kato
a loading. That's really nice.
just agreeing that we share his pictures of him, you know, the pictures of him inside your pharmacy, getting service, by the way. That's so
Yeah.
incredible to me.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. Yes, now we move on.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So that
Wow.
was our third pharmacy. Yeah, yeah. It's
God.
yeah. It's
Wow.
2 years old now.
Oh my God. And I saw something here that I wanted to ask you a question on. I thought I saw, I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it.
I'm just like Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is a little. So I see this there, Alpha Delta, and it's a motorcycle that has like is this delivery service? Oh, Naakai, hopefully we haven't lost you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Okay, fantastic. So is that
Oh
the
yes, yes,
service?
that's a delivery service. Yes, yes.
Right.
We run a delivery service.
I'm
Yes, it is.
too happy. Like I can't stop smiling. So for those of you in the diaspora, this is a great plug.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And of course, I didn't tell Naakai I would do this. I never do tell our guests we're going to do anything. We just do it. But for those of you in the diaspora who have, you know, family back home who may need pharmaceutical services, isn't it great to know that you can literally call, ask for the service, and it would be delivered to either a mother, father, an uncle, a sister, a nephew, niece, somebody in the comfort of their homes or even in the hospitals, right? Naakai, is that it? They could take it even to their hospitals.
yes,
wherever
yes,
they are.
yes. All the
That's-
time, all the time.
That is mind-blowing
Yes, all
to
the
me.
time. Yeah.
When I saw that,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
thought. And so that's
Thank
a
you.
great plug in. I have a
Yes.
question for you. Why Alpha Delta? How did you come about that name?
Yes.
Oh, and yes, it is Accra's first drive-through pharmacy. Jesus. Did you guys just hear that? It's a drive-through pharmacy. I know for those of you who live in the
That's my
diaspora.
brother Naughty. Yes, it is.
For those of you who live in the diaspora,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
necessarily that this is a big thing. You're like, oh, it's a drive-through, because there's thousands of drive-throughs where we are. But in Ghana, it's a big deal. Do you know how much discipline you see in the drive-through in Accra?
Can you imagine?
What a game changer. What a game changer.
Yes.
Wow. But let's go back to the question of why Alpha Delta. Hey, Jesus.
Okay. So, what's it called? My mother always wanted to open a business called Nona Delta. She had asked her brother for her initials in Greek. That's Nana Dua. And I believe the actual thing is Nu, N is Nu, but he gave her Nona Delta. And then when he came back to correct it, she said, no, she's fallen in love with Nona Delta already. So I wanted something with a similar ring. And I'm also Naakai Dua, so I could have been Nona Delta. But I thought I wanted to acknowledge my God, who is the Alpha.
Oh, come on.
So Delta is for Dua, my maiden name. Yeah, so Alpha is the Alpha and Omega. And so that was God. That's Alpha Delta. And then it also happens to be my father's initials, Dr. Eiiiiii Dua. He was Ajay Dua. So that is what Alpha Delta is.
Oh, look at this. Into this. How will God not rest here? The name itself has so much acknowledgement of the power of God, of the Spirit of God. There is no way God will not be down there. Oh, I am so excited. Wow. So tell us how you got into getting the building. I'm just so curious, because I don't remember Ring Road that well. But I feel like Ring Road is one of the very choice real estate areas in Ghana. And also you were driving around, you said, and you remember admiring it, and God dropped it in your spirit, you might could get it. So was it already occupied, and how did you come about it, and how long did it take? I have so many questions. I'm sorry. How long did it take to do all?
It's
Tell me
such a shame I didn't send pictures of what it was. It was just a concrete shell. It was literally just a concrete shell. And we had to do a lot of work in the interior. The exterior was okay, but the interior needed a lot of work. Like I'm saying, this thought came to me. I wanted to open it. I didn't want to. I wanted to open it. And one day I was just praying. There's a website I'll go on, and I'll pray with that website and go for a walk and all that, and really deliberate on it stuff. And then one day when I got home, I was like, God, why all this confusion? I can't make up my mind. And he dropped into my spirit very, 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 very clearly. He said, I gave it to you. Like,
I almost
past tense.
I'm joking.
Where from this past tense? I mean, because I don't have it. I'm thinking of whether to have it. So is it I am giving it to you? I will give it to you. But he said, I gave it to you. Right when that, I remember exactly where I was standing. Right that very second, I got a phone call from the landlord, who is called Patrick Matsuk. My phone started, Patrick, why are you calling me? Because he had offered that space to banks. He had told me he offered to a bank. The bank are going to pay this, that. So who am I to go and compete with a bank?
I have
Patrick said, Naakai, you know what?
Dreaming.
Yeah. I was just praying about this thing, and you called me. He said, so it's yours. Come for it. I hope Patrick is online. I forgot to tell him to tune in. So why are you calling me? And he's like, it's yours, come for it. I'm like, oh no, that's really good news and stuff. And so that was it. I just.
Are you like joking me?
Yeah.
I feel like you're pulling one over me.
That was it. And so we started doing it, and I was looking at the side of the building. The building is, the way it's situated, you can drive around it. So I used to walk around this building. I told my landlord, I said, Patrick, I think I want to have a drive-through facility here. He said, oh, don't worry about that. It's not possible. A major fast food chain had approached him to use it, and then they'd have their drive-through business, but they realized it wasn't possible, so they pulled out. And Naakai, you can never do it. It won't be done. I said, I'll do it. I'll find a way of doing it. And so we had to consult abroad. It was so many cumbersome consultations and getting the parts, but long story short, we did it.
Oh my God.
We managed to get
the story. Oh my God. The fact that somebody tried. Some people tried. bent.
Oh, he was so impressed. He said, "You're such a determined person. You're such a determined person."
Oh
These
my
people
God.
had come so far with their research and they said, "No, it's not possible. It's not possible." And we managed to put it there. And so, yeah, we do have a drive through. It's quite busy because we're 24 hours. It gets quite busy after hours when people
No.
are coming from whatever engagement or whatever it is and they pass there. Rather than get out of the car, they usually get one or two items and drive off. Early morning, people are late to work or to school. They just drive around, get one or two items. And
And
so
the
it has
convenience of it.
the convenience of it. And we opened in 2021, so we still had COVID around, and there were still people who didn't like to walk into pharmacies.
Yes.
In Laboni, you have a lot of people blowing their horn. That means they want to be served in the car. And so I was like, oh, this serving you in the car is going to become real, and you can just drive around and pick up whatever you want without entering the pharmacy.
Happy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure somebody's going, why is this Zoe just smiling like a weird person? I'm so excited about this. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Carol says, learning new things. I admire your resilience. Go Naakai.
Resilience.
Dr. Professor Audrey says, is it Notidia of Joy FM? I believe he was referring to your brother.
My brother. Note of Joy FM is our first cousin. He's our first cousin. Yeah, he's our first cousin. So this Note is another Note. Carlobin.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The can-do spirit. Thank you.
I love that you never give up. God is good. And for it to even be something you did, it must mean that when COVID hit, you were still working.
Hey, right through it. Right through it. More so we were non-stop. Yeah.
And you opened right at the tail end. Actually, no, that was still in the heat of COVID. 2021 was still in the heat of COVID. That was a crazy thing to do. And then it turns out that the very thing that they said you couldn't do because of the situation, this God who can see far, because of the situation, it was possible to have the drive-through. That was actually what people wanted because they couldn't get into the pharmacy. This story is too good. I could just write
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it. But now do you realize that you said, what will we talk about for an hour? Well, we're past an hour. So
you see?
We're past an hour. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So to my younger self, in a nutshell, it will be all right on the night. It all works together for good. The challenges, the perceived handicaps, the difficulties, with Christ in the center, and when we put our trust in Christ, somehow we pull through.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And Sadie says, what God has for you, He will make a way for you. And she even has a Bible verse attached, which is what I love about this show.
Yeah.
Don't go around verbally saying that we're a Christian show. The character just comes out. The people that come on the show, everything about us just tells you we are a God kind of show. And so I love it when people ascribe all of the glory back to God and His ability to help His people. And so there's Isaiah 43:19 here. It says, I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers of water in the desert. I cannot tell you, just like your friend was telling you, God blesses in the wilderness. This story is so inspiring to me personally. I actually was telling Professor Audrey this morning, I said, you have to be on this show today because I believe a lot of people in the diaspora needed to hear it. For everyone who may be planning a move, again, not necessarily a move back home, wherever your home country is, but any kind of move at all, as long as God is in it.
Yes.
Move. Do it. Do the thing you need to do. And Naakai didn't have a home to go to necessarily. Maybe a family home, but not necessarily her home. You know, and there was no business plan. It's just so encouraging to hear this story. There's a few pictures that you sent, Naa, that I wanted to just kind of showcase, and maybe you can talk a little bit about it. Here is one that just gives my heart so much joy, and I want you to tell us a little bit about what the occasion was and who are in the picture. This one right here.
Oh, okay. So I have two daughters, Yasmin and Nadia, and that's that.
I have a niece called Yasmin. She's so pretty.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Yasmin is sweet smelling flower. And
Yes.
as I said, the move to Ghana was, Yasmin had a place in secondary school in Ghana, and I didn't want to miss that place. So we suddenly moved to Ghana, but I promised them that I'll do my best to help them get back to the UK for their university education. And with
Oh
God's
my
grace and
God.
mercy, we managed to do that. And so that was Yasmin's graduation from Aston University in Birmingham, and we're all there. So that's us as a family.
Oh, I am too
Yeah,
excited.
that's
Oh.
that's Yasmin's graduation.
How long ago was this?
2018.
Oh,
2018. So
God.
that's 5 years ago.
That was
That's,
Listen,
Yeah.
this overtaking God. I'm just
that's
saying
nice.
though, 5 years. Can you even
Yeah,
imagine that?
yeah. So we did manage to get them back to university there, which I think they appreciate. And yeah. So they had a bit of England and Ghana and mixed education. Yeah. It will be all right on the nights. That's what someone
Yes.
said. It will be all
Oh
right.
my God. And yes, Professor Audrey, this I really wanted you to watch. I specifically texted to Professor Audrey and said, I know you've been busy, because of the COVID, we're saying now that COVID is not a threat anymore. So a lot of people have gone back to work in person, which is not
Okay.
very good for a platform like ours, but God is still good. He's making people still tune in anyway.
Amen.
And so a lot of people haven't been able to tune in live. Indeed, most of
Okay.
our producers don't get to tune in live any longer because of work and things like that. But I specifically told Professor Audrey, you must come on the show today. I'm so excited about Naakai's story. I don't know all of it, but I need to hear it. And I don't know why, Audrey, because I don't even know your story. But I feel like God wanted you to watch. And
Amen.
so yeah.
Amen. So I have a few thank yous to save. That's appropriate.
Yes,
on your
but can I show? It is absolutely. But can I show some of the pictures? Because I want to kind of just, I don't know. They're just beautiful, and I wanted to show them. And then we can go ahead and do some thank yous. We have a little more time. I'm told that our LinkedIn connection has been disrupted. Guys, we're sorry about that. We're going to try to fix it. And if not, just go into the YouTube page and, just kind of watch. And on the Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another picture that I'm very curious about. Who are these people? Beautiful, gorgeous people. Who are these guys?
Oh, this was a wedding. The 80s were really fabulous with them.
You look so fabulous. Oh my God.
So Carrington shoulder pads. And this was a wedding
I love
attended. An in-law's wedding. And so that was also I think I was about 21 years old at this time. So to my 21-year-old self, who was, I think, early university and very worried about all life's problems, it will be all right on the night again. It'll be fine.
I can't. I'm too excited. And as I was watching you, there's an African princess or queen, South African really, who I really love very much. And if I started singing her song, you will know who she is right away. I don't know the words, but Umpunko Boti. Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Chaka Chaka, okay.
One of the prettiest women on the continent.
Yeah.
Look like splitting of her hair. So who are those in the picture? Who is in the red and in the other color? Who is in the red?
The peach.
Yes.
In red is Naa Grants, my friend, very, very good friend, dear sister. Abba knows her so well. Naa Grants, who intended to tune in today. I'm sure she's tuned in. And then in the peach is my cousin, I call her darling cousin Amoiswa, and that's us attending a wedding. And we've been there for each other through the different stages of life. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's just nice to still be very close to all these people. Yeah.
Oh, my big sis Elsie, I miss you. I really miss her. She's our producer. My big sis, what do I call this woman? My
Elsie, nice to see you.
My confessor. I just bombard her with everything. It's so great to see you. Work is not allowing her to be great. Listen, if you're a lawyer, this is what happens. but that you even find time to be on the show. Now, it's just, I'm so grateful and I miss you. I really, you must make time to watch this particular show because I know you're going to give me ideas to my younger self after. So you have to watch. You have to watch. Okay, another last picture, and then we can go on and do some. Yes, there's so many pictures here. Where is this?
Okay, that picture means a lot to me. That was taken in Switzerland. Yeah, just
No, I had a sneaky feeling. I didn't want to ask you when we were editing.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. But that was just myself encouraging. This is a picture I used to encourage myself about climb every mountain. I mean, in life, you know, all your insecurities, your doubts, your difficulties, and I'm just saying to myself, climb every mountain, follow every dream. Don't leave any dreams not done. Just follow. Bridget, you're here. You know how I feel about following every dream. Just do it. I'm always saying, just do it. Do it afraid. Yes, that's the statement. Do it afraid and climb every mountain. Whatever opportunities come to you, no matter how large, big, or they seem or impossible. And I think that also goes to the ring road. They seemed impossible, seemed too big, it seemed overambitious. But just do it. Just do it. It might work. If it works, even if it doesn't work, you'd have learned so many lessons on the way. You'd have had life skilled, you'd have honed skilled. And so once it's on your heart and you think that it's something, don't shy away or don't do it. Do it afraid. Climb every mountain. That is what that picture signifies.
Oh my God. And you had climbed mountains. Oh, and I checked your neck. It's you that clicked the angry emoji. I know you're not angry with us. You love us too much. So I understand. It's by mistake. Thank you for telling us.
Yes. So that's climb every mountain.
Oh,
climb every mountain. We're climbing. And
you know, Uncle Echo himself, another fantastic storyteller and alum on here. He himself has climbed some mountains, I know for sure. And so for him to reiterate that is so encouraging and inspiring for some. I know I said this was the last one, but me, I'm such a curious person. You know? So,
I didn't realize we had more.
I know there was just so many things. So what is happening here? Where were you?
This is boarding school, the typical boarding school energy. I think we studied hard. We studied so. This Wesley girls, we studied so hard. I think when I was talking about dyslexia, I put this there to show how we had to study so hard. And so this is us. We're science students, and we're just met in. Bridget should know where we were. We're in the chop box room or somewhere having our garage.
I love it. Because I see some chop boxes in the back.
Hard work. Some tables and we're just in our garage in secondary school. So that was taken in secondary school. We had good fun there. So that's the story. That's my story. Okay, that's my late brother. That's KK. So I must have been about age 6 here, and KK was such a sweet guy, very calm. He passed, 15 years ago, sadly. Yeah, he was a musician. So that's where we grew up. That's a home we grew up in. Very fond memories, so many fond memories. Laughter, togetherness, love, singing, music. That home, I think, signifies a lot of music. We had some good memories there. Yeah. So that's my brother and I.
Wow. Is this home still there where it is now? Yeah. Is the home still there?
It is. It's in an area. The home is still there, but it's a commercial venture now. It's a restaurant. It's turned into a restaurant now. So the structure stands, but it's no longer a home. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Today
those are the photos.
So exhilarating for me. I've just enjoyed the storytelling time. And Bridget says, walk into your fear. What a powerful statement. I left it here because hopefully I'm hoping people would take screenshots of it to remind themselves, walk into your fear. If you walk into it, the mystery is gone. It's not so fearful anymore, right? Yeah, I know you had thank yous for us. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. The key point over here was a move to Ghana and just to encourage those who have apprehensions of coming home. that, I mean, God makes a way where there seems to be no way. But God also uses angels really
Yes.
for things to come to pass. And I have so many angels. And my big sister Radha is one of such. Like I'm saying, when we
Rather
moved, she
your
took
real
me.
big sister is rather your
Yes,
real.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. She's
rather I.
number one. I'm number five. She's number
Ah.
one, and I'm number five. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. God
A very
bless
big thank you to Radha
you.
and to all my siblings, Rama and Norte, who
Mm.
provided a safe cushion for us to land into. Like I'm
Mm.
saying, we quote all the scripture, but it's angels who use their hands and their feet and all
Yes.
that to
Mm.
bless you. My big sister Teria, and in the pharmacy world, my very good friend Professor Alex Dodu, who encouraged me every step. Each pharmacy I opened and I have my fears and all that, he would encourage me and say, just do it. You can set up a pharmacy anywhere.
Oh
So
God,
yeah, so
amen.
my friends and loved ones, Abake Toanda, who's always pushing me and always
Please
loving and
let me
caring.
inch in here. As for Abba there, today we should have given Abba episode producer, because let me tell you, every opportunity that young woman has to
Yes,
encourage, especially
yes,
me, because
yes,
Abba knows a lot of my story, not all of it,
yes,
but a lot of it.
yeah,
And I think aside from Elsie Dixon, maybe Abba
yeah,
has
yeah,
heard me cry many, many, many times as I'm older,
yeah,
not my
yeah,
contemporaries. And
yeah.
every time I go into a little bit of a rant, she will pull out the Naakai card. Okay.
Wow.
And literally show it to me like, look at Naakai.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah,
she absolutely
yeah,
loves
yeah,
you.
yeah,
And I am
yeah.
so glad she allowed me to
Thank
stand on her
you.
shoulders to
Thank
draw
you.
you out.
Yeah.
I have to say also, but go ahead.
And so yeah, just thank you to all of them, and then to my pastor, my friend and mentor, Bishop Kakrabade, and also who's always been there and giving me scripture and pushing me on. And Kakra is not working. He says it's working, it's not working, it's working, and he does a lot.
God bless
It's
him.
not working, he says it's
Oh,
working.
wow.
You know, yeah, God bless him. And so there's so many other people, but
Hmm.
to these people I'm really grateful. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
And thank you for the time, Zoe. Thank you for putting me on your platform to share my humble story.
I am just so enamored by you. Guys, do you think we should leave? Because I don't want to leave. I know it's an hour 16. We're trying to be good with time, but I just love this so much.
Yes.
But Uncle Eko says, as the case frequency, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
I didn't realize
That's
you were
my brother, Case Frequency.
great.
Case Frequency, that's my brother. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. Case
Wow.
Frequency. Yeah,
And
that's
next
KK.
is
Yeah.
Hannah. She says, I have enjoyed the story time, definitely watching the playback. More grace to
Oh,
Naakai.
thank
Long
you, thank you.
live. Hashtag Alpha Delta.
Alpha
Come
Delta.
on. Come
Thank you,
on.
thank you,
I really
thank
love
you,
that.
thank you.
Fulton says, faithful
Yeah.
God, we join our sister to praise and give you thanks. Linda Saki says, wow, just joined. Girl, you're great. You better play back, do
Because
like
that
a
was Linda in the
rewind.
last photo. That was Linda in the last photo.
Oh, which one? This one here?
Yeah, yeah.
Was it
No,
this one?
Linda was in the photo where we had our books and we're eating and
Oh, was it
misbehaving.
this
Yeah,
one?
that's Linda. That's Linda
Oh,
Saki.
Linda, did you see
Yes, yes.
yourself?
We spent many nights cracking the code of physics, chemistry, and biology. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
so glad she
And I
came.
also
Just
have to say thank you to my many staff, the pharmacists, the techs, the MCAs who support me in everything I do, support all
wow.
my dreams. Some are still with us, some have moved on, but thank you to all of them. They are part of my angels. Thank you to the whole team. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Valinda Girl says, thank you for sharing your story, Naakai. It's just so incredible. I'm so enamored by you. I can't say it enough. I really can't. You have broken
Thank
so
you.
many barriers. You're a barrier breaker.
Thank you.
Doing
Thank
these
you.
things that people say you shouldn't or cannot do. And just thank you for being open to share your story. And just young adults out there, wherever your dream is. I like what Naakai said, God blesses in the desert. If God said he was going to take you to the Sahara and that's where you're going to thrive, just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Amen.
And don't worry about boxes or whatever it is you're supposed to carry. If you
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
clothes to wear, just carry go. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
story, I'm always cherry picking some people that I wish I could do an autobiography on. I'm always asking God, please God, give me $1 million. There's so many stories I want to tell. You would be one of those people I would do an autobiography on.
Amen.
Your
Amen.
story is so powerful. The most beautiful thing about you, and it shows in the comment section, is that you didn't do this by yourself. You recognize who did it with you and for you. And the people that are around you, you never, ever, ever forgot them. And you just pull everybody around you. I just met you and I already feel like we're the best of friends. There's that quality about you. And I wanted to take time to say thank you. Thank you for just being you. And
Amen.
I know
Amen.
you haven't shared how many times you've cried, because guys,
Thank
she definitely has
you.
cried. I can
Thank
tell.
you.
Prayed many, many times. But look at the story, right?
Silent tears. Yeah.
And Auntie Araba says, I'll join you on this one.
Thank you
Another
so much.
incredible woman. Yes. Naakai, just so you know, this woman, she's
Yeah,
hiding.
yeah.
Outline AAA is Auntie Araba. Nusin Adeline. But
Headline AD.
I know she says, I will join you
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I
I
guess
hope
she's
so.
joining me to say thank you to you. I want everybody who is on here, all of you, 40 plus of you guys, go into the comment section. Do me a favor. Today's hashtag is long live hashtag Alpha Delta. I just want to see it flowing in the comments. Please just do this.
Hey.
In the next minute or so, let it keep flying. Long live hashtag Alpha Delta. Here's to you opening the 4th one and the 5th one. Here's to you being a conglomerate on the continent of Africa. I'm dreaming with you and for
Amen.
that you will begin to open
Amen.
more in
Amen.
other
Amen.
countries,
Amen.
and you
Thank
will
you.
surpass every dream you've ever had. I'm looking forward to when you come back and tell us even more stories of God's goodness. Yes, here we go. Thank you, guys.
Amen.
Long live hashtag Alpha Delta. Come on, let's go. I want to keep showing it. I want to keep showing it. Long live. Yes, there you go. There you go. Yes, I love you guys. This audience is one of the best. Every time we ask you guys to do something, you just do it. Yes, Alpha Delta, long live Alpha Delta. Yes, come on. Come on. For those of you who have not commented at all, let me just see your face. Comment. Long live Alpha Delta. There you go. There you go. Oh, guys, this has been so wonderful. Naakai, thank you. Thank you so much for just coming on to share your stories. I'm going to do a few housekeeping and then.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
For those of you who have heard stories told here, you know, stories are not only oral, sometimes we put them in books. One of the people who has supported us ever since we started is Nana Redamwa and Book Nook Stores. We want you to patronize him. He's doing an incredible thing. I believe the reason why Naakai is succeeding is because Africans on the continent of Africa, in Ghana to be precise, are putting their money there because they believe in her. And I want you to do the same for Big Brother Nana Redamwa. Last week I had some lady, another very dear friend of mine, Christabel. She lives in Canada, meaning she could have ordered her books on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, but she took time to order her books on Book Nook. And the service was stellar, she tells me. She took a picture of the book she ordered and sent it to me. And she was so excited, so excited. Guys, if you're looking for books, please, just patronize Book Nook Store, okay? Alrighty. Kunda Kids, of course, is doing incredible storytelling for kids out of the UK and also Uganda. I want to say thank you to our monthly donors. Auntie Araba is here, Rose Machayo, Jane Fiorito, Auntie B of Exceptional Care, and Mr. EKD. because of you, I get to wear these t-shirts that are so cool. We get to pay for the internet, not necessarily anymore, but before a couple of months ago, that's what we were using some of those donations for, the lighting, the sound, all kinds of things. We're very, very grateful to you. So God bless you. For those of you who still live on the African continent, especially in Ghana, there's a few people I do want you to patronize with your goodwill and your treasure. Where Ghana is one of those people, Koa Designs, Music for Your Quality Feet. With that one, Uncle Fisho and his team, you don't necessarily have to be on the continent of Africa. You just need to have internet and a tablet or a computer, and you just get to go on there and enjoy good music every Sunday afternoon, okay? Especially if you've had your omutu after church, you know you gotta dance it off. So please, please always patronize Music for Your Quality Feet. Of course, M. Sims by Mabel Simpson, Ryle by Designs, who is a Kenyan designer out of Nyack, New York. Avonzige Bridal, for those of you who are, planning celebrations, birthdays, and of course, weddings. Keys and Credo by Nana Sapang, our dear friend. Horseman Shoes, Caveman Watches. These are just a few. All we're saying is we want to put Ghana and Africa on the map, and we're going to do that. We want to patronize them with our money. Of course, Margie Marge, who is a cheerleader of all humans, she just likes to showcase humanity, and she has a show that comes on every Thursday. Marge always tells me that there is enough room for all of us at the top, and there is no reason why we cannot uplift each other on each other's shows. Okay, alrighty, housekeeping done. Next week is Author's Corner, and we have the absolutely beautiful, incredible Dr. Perfect Coca. She's gonna be here with her book, The Storm. Girls and boys and men and ladies and gentlemen, storytelling connoisseurs, all of you, you want to go get the book first on Book Nook and then read it. It's a very interesting, engaging read of poetry done by a doctor. Let me tell you, talent is something else, okay? This is a doctor who is a scientist and all that, but when you see her words, you go, are you sure you're in the right profession? I don't know. But she's going to be here. We're going to be talking about her book, The Storm. You will be very, 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 very encouraged and amazed by her. Producers, is there anything else Zoe has left out? I don't think so. Naakai, what would be the last thing you would like to tell us before we sign off?
Oh, just to encourage us all about our walk with Christ and believe His word literally. Take His word as it is, and He delivers on His word. Just keep walking with Him, keep talking with Him, and you'll get your heart's desire if it's in His will. Amen.
You know, one thing I'm very curious about you is how you pray. You said you don't pray long hours. You know, for those of us who grew in the Ghanaian Christianity way, we think that if we're not praying long hours and speaking in tongues very in some way and bobbing our heads, maybe God is not listening to us. For me, and this is a personal question for me, how do you pray?
I pray with groups. Lighthouse has a link that comes on Tuesdays and Fridays. I pray with them at dawn when I'm able to, but not always. I love to pray with church groups, fellowship groups. I really, really enjoy to do that. On my own, sometimes I pray long periods, but not often. And so my prayer, apart from my quiet time, is during the day. The deep murmurings and the deep groanings of my heart, my conversations with God, my deep conversations with God, my praise. That is how I pray. That is how I pray. But through the day, the conversations I have with God, those are my prayers.
Wow. I've taken so much from you today. Quiet peace. I asked you about prayer and the fact that God blesses in the wilderness, and walking into your fear. And listen, just jump. God is always there to catch you, especially if you're doing it riding on His back or standing on His shoulder. Naakai, God bless you. Thank you so much for coming to the show. It's been wonderful. I know it took sacrifice and a lot of moving things around to be here. And we just appreciate you. Congratulations again. And guys, please, you know I would tell you, keep patronizing Alpha Delta. and let us put Alpha Delta on the map of Africa. Okay, I want to see Naakai on Time magazine very, very soon. I really do. I really. All right, guys. My name is Zoe Baraka. We'll be here next week with Dr. Perfect Coca, and yeah, the show is ended. We'll see you guys next week at the same time. Bye bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. What where what you're shown. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. Manchester, you know Sumanguru, you know what where what you're shown. What's that to do, you know?